So I have more thoughts student asks for. Now, of course, I don't always get to cover all the topics I want to speak on for the main episode. So, with more thoughts on Ask for, I choose one topic to deep dive with you guys about. You can catch these episodes streamed live on Mondays. Not every Monday. So, if you want to know when and where to catch these episodes, make sure you join the Discord. All updates and information will be in Discord. Join the Discord. And if you end up missing the live streams, you can still catch the uploads on YouTube, but over on my main YouTube channel at It's Your Girl Asia. All right, now back to the show.
All right. Hello, I'm back. So, welcome to More Thoughts No One Asks For, where I share more thoughts none of you asked for or probably even care about, but I'm going to share them any motherfucking way. Hello, people. So, today, the topic I want to discuss is so when it comes to content creating, I think that one of the main reasons it can be a bit discouraging for certain types of people. Thank you. Don't follow back, please, in a TikTok chat. Um, the main reason it can be a little bit discouraging for most people, for a lot of people, especially the most successful like content creators, it seems like damn they don't have no privacy. Like damn they just gotta tell all their business. Like it just seems like in order to be a successful content creator, do I have to tell all my business? Do I get to keep anything to myself? And is it worth it to sit up here and share your personal life with a bunch of strangers and let them pick you apart and critique you and let them know so much information that they actually don't really need to know just to monetize your content or just to feel like a real content creator, I guess. Well, I'll speak on me personally as far as like how I do content. I There's a lot that I'm never going to speak on on social media regarding my personal life. Um and I don't feel like I need to in order to be successful at this. I get it. I get the appeal of it, right? Where do you want to do content creating full time? Essentially, yes, but like that's never gonna be the only thing that I do. It's never gonna look one way. Um, and so that's the thing, right? People will think, oh, well, if I want to do this full time, you know, I gotta tell my business. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what your niche is. And for me personally, I totally disagree with that. I have figured out a way to if I could stream and talk politics all day, I'm Gucci to be honest, that would be the dream. Exactly. And that's not you like talking about your personal life and like, you know what I'm saying? And so, like I said, depending on the niche, it's not as difficult, but I just think when I look at these creators that we maybe grown up with, like these YouTubers who had been on social media for so long and now you kind of don't think about them or they don't have as much clout or attention, it kind of makes you think like, damn, they really put their whole life on the internet. They really put their whole life on the internet and we just know so much about them. And then a lot of them are still kind of doing that. And it seems like, damn, is it worth it? Is it worth it to like do all of that for so many years just to not be able to sustain it for sustain it long term? And I personally don't know. I don't know. Because at the end of the day, a lot of people are okay with that. A lot of people are comfortable with being an open book. Me personally, I am not. I am not. I think that is a very big issue. Yeah, that's because many of them don't evolve. Exactly. And a lot of them also stay tied to too many trends. And so once these trends die out and it's over and we're moving on to Kai Snad and these streamers and whatever's hot, nobody's thinking about you. You know what I mean? I think it's more I think it's the more you share, the more you make kind of thing. You'd have to ask yourself if the money is worth or if the potential parasocial people. Yeah. And that's why I wanted it to be a conversation because it does seem like especially people on TikTok. TikTok is one of those apps where some of the biggest creators are very vulnerable and they tell a lot of details about themselves, and they get on there and talk about every little thought they have and perspective on every little topic. And it's almost like, damn, what doesn't the internet know about you? Like, and it, again, I'm not really saying as if it's really a problem, because I can't really say that it is if people are okay with it. I just think that in general, looking at it, just viewing how social media works and how we interact with it is very odd sometimes, and it really creeps me out. And that's one of those things with being a content creator and making a living off this shit. It's like your entire life damn near is on the internet. And you don't feel weird about that. You don't feel like uncomfortable. It's kind of easy to keep your personal life out of the loop if you set boundaries, and that's my point. A lot of people don't, or they make it their niche to not really have much boundaries, or to be like, so many creators take pride and they like to stand on the fact that, I show my real life. I'm transparent, I'm honest, I show y'all the real. And it's like, that's cool. At least you're not faking it. You know what I mean? At least you're not being inauthentic. But at the same time, are you telling your audience too much? Are you telling these strangers too much though? Because it just seems too invasive a lot of the times. And that's where we get to these parasocial to this para to this parasocial stand culture level of just like very intense and aggressive conversations and think pieces and virality over shit that really isn't even the internet's business at all, but it's the creator's fault because you plant the seed, you put it out there, and you make your audience feel comfortable enough to kiki with you in a certain way. And now when you put your business out there and they have something to say, now you're mad, but you don't have no boundaries. Like, your audience, your community, your supporters who pay you, who subscribe to you, they know too damn much. Like, for me, if you come at my partner or family, then you might have black trucks outside. Yes, yes. And don't get me wrong, I know plenty of creators, like some of my favorite creators. I know plenty of creators that do have boundaries, where it is like they have a certain niche, but they also do share certain personal details about their life. But it's not, they've been consistent over the years where it's not super invasive. You know what I'm saying? There's a bar that they don't go past. I just found out the term LOL cow, and that's just the saddest form of content creator, but I guess it pays well. I don't know what that is. You're gonna have to educate me on that. I don't know what the hell that is. But yeah, so don't get me wrong. Like, it's plenty of content creators that know how it works, and even I feel like I've cracked the code really. But I just noticed that there's a group of people that can do it and they know boundaries. There's a group of people that do it and they're fine with putting all their business out there. They really don't give a fuck because they choose the money over morals or over trying to be private and discreet. Um and then you know, there's some people who may want to be content creators, but they just may not want to share anything about their personal life, or they just are really, really, really private. And again, that's possible if you have a specific niche that you can, like, if you're a gamer, if you could focus, like you said, politics, if you could focus on other stuff, spiritual content or whatever, cooking, whatever it is that you do, if you make any form of art, if you sing, if you write, whatever it is that you do, that kind of thing is easier. But I don't know, I just notice people just be I'm like, damn, we know. And it's piggybacking off of what I talked about in my main episode, my thoughts on Acts for episode 38, I believe it was, or 37. I think it was 37. Go on my YouTube and check. But I was talking about how I found that it was weird in general that we know too much about celebrities and content creators in general because they come online and they tell us their personal business. And it's like, girl, even though it can be entertaining at times, it's weird. And so I didn't have time for the main show. So that's why I wanted to, trickle it off and talk about it here as well. with this conversation about content creators and if it's worth it in general. It's like those people that are just embarrassing online and everyone is just, yeah, that's weird. You can make bread with having boundaries though. It depends, right? That's why I'm like, it depends on what your content is. Like, what is it though? You can, but eh, it depends on what type of creator you are. It really does depend. Like it ain't that ain't gonna be the case for everybody. And that's why so many people, they might try to start off a certain way and they'll lean far left and they'll piggyback off what they see other people doing or what's trending, because a lot of people don't know how to do that. They don't know how to have boundaries, and also because a lot of people, they don't do this shit for, they do a lot of people do this shit for money, right? If there's so many people who only want to be content creators just to make money, they will do anything to make money. So they don't give a fuck about having boundaries or not sharing details about their personal life. If they see E. Kane or somebody is doing all this foolishness and making all this damn money, and then they make all this damn money, then they're going to have their sheep mindset and follow along. That's the other part. How much you make off content? I might do that shit full time. Me? I don't. Child. I'm just getting started with this shit. Oh, what the hell? I'll let you know though in a couple months. A lot of streamers and celebrities' audiences are parasocial and want to be in their skin. It's weird, yes, and you have to blame the streamer and the celebrities though. It's their fault. It's not. We can't put all the blame on the artist. I have to find um a way to get my TikTok chat on my live stream because I'm multi-streaming on Twitch and TikTok. So I gotta see if I can connect my TikTok. I don't know. Maybe y'all can help me with that. EK's audience is a shade room conversation. No, for sure. For sure. And I ain't gonna talk about EK, but you already know. So yeah, I don't know. I didn't want to get too redundant with this conversation, but I feel like we pretty much cracked the code on that. But yeah, like Chad said, like you can be successful off this shit and not, you know, share your whole life. But we're talking about content creating. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're going to move past content creating and be like an entrepreneur, sell a product or provide a service, um if you are not truly passionate about this shit enough or creative enough to find an approach that works best for you and that's healthy for you, and it doesn't go against your morals and what you stand on a daily basis, and it's not going to affect your mental health, then you should not be doing this. TikTok is weird. They don't like people multi-streaming using OBS. They want you to use their platform. That's so weird. That's so weird. That's so strange. It's okay. Cuz I've seen some ways around it, but I don't know. We'll figure that out. But yeah, so at the end of the day, if you're just not truly I say it all the time, if you're not truly passionate about content creating, don't fucking do it. Find something to do. Go write a book and sell it or something. You know what I mean? Go do something else. Go build something. You know, find something else to do. Because if you just hop into this shit just for money, I promise you, you're you're gonna struggle, or you're gonna struggle mentally. You're gonna reach a point where you're gonna have to decide. You're gonna have to pick between money or your morals. I think I'm done yapping. Thank you guys so much for interacting in my TikTok chat today. So sorry for the people that's gonna watch back and not gonna be able to see their comments, but it's okay. I tried to read them for you guys. um, yeah, thank you for joining me for the first episode of More Thoughts No One Asked For. Okay, I will see you guys next Monday, probably. maybe you should see me next Monday. So join the fucking Discord, please and thank you. Quick commercial break before I go, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.
Hi, it's me again. Sorry to bother you again, but I really wanted to tell you about my main YouTube channel. It's Your Girl Asia is where I document my creative journey, and I also post my other streams on there as well. So, in case you want to see more of me, subscribe or don't. No pressure. Okay, back to the show.